just for you. What an awesome way to start your day on Mocha Chocolate Mondays. On Mocha Chocolate Mondays.
Good morning, family. It is Lesley Hudson on the Mocha Chocolate Mondays show. And yes, we are still celebrating October, which is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And thank you for joining me on today. Just a cup of inspiration to jumpstart your week. Today I have another breast cancer thriver, and her name is Sherrill Dallis. And we're going to interview Sherrill, and we're going to talk about and find out about her breast cancer journey. How you doing today?
Oh, today is a great day. I'm feeling wonderful today.
Well, it is so good to see you, and I'm so glad you feeling fabulous and you looking fabulous.
Well, thank you very much, Miss Hudson.
So tell me, Sherrill, tell me about your breast cancer journey, the beginning of it. When were you diagnosed? What was going on? Just tell the audience what's happening.
Oh, Lord. I'm going to try to get through this without getting tearful. I was first diagnosed. I had my mammogram in January of 2013. The actual news of breast cancer came on February 13th, 2013, which was my birthday.
Wow.
Which was the day I was actually told I did have breast cancer. As you can imagine, after that word cancer, everything else became Charlie Brown language.
Right.
You know, I saw his lips moving, I heard what he said, but I didn't comprehend what he said. And when it hit me that my life just took a complete flip, from planning a trip to Jamaica and getting ready for a hot and, you know, just having a wonderful birthday, to now I'm having to deal with the diagnosis of cancer.
Now tell me, let's back up just a little bit though. How were you first diagnosed, and did you find a lump or something yourself, or how did this come about? How did you know?
It came about because I missed my annual mammogram for 2012.
Okay.
And I knew that since I was 37, they started doing my mammograms, because I had a lump in the breast from a previous domestic violence situation with my husband.
Okay.
And he bit me, and that made a nodule of some sort in the breast.
Okay.
So they were watching that.
Okay.
And also because I had a breast lump removed when I was about 14 years old.
Really?
It made me a higher candidate.
Now, was cancer in your family?
Yes. And there's a family history. At the time, I only knew of my great aunt, my father's side, so it was my paternal aunt. And she didn't die from breast cancer, but I remember my mom telling us the story of her having her breast removed. And then later on, as I was going through, I found out that I had other family members. I had a nephew that was dealing with Hodgkin's lymphoma at the same time I was dealing with mine. And then I had an aunt who had just finished treatment for ovarian cancer.
Oh, wow.
And so this information came to me after I was diagnosed.
Okay, so they were watching you anyway.
Right.
You missed your mammogram in 2012. When you went back in January 2013, that's when it was diagnosed.
Correct.
Okay. Correct.
Because I knew I could not go another full year without having my mammogram done. And so from that point, you know, as you can imagine, after the initial diagnosis and what needs to be done and the talk of the surgeries and the plastic surgeon, I became very lonely, depressed. I had a really great guy in my life at the time who was significant, but I still felt lonely because there was no family here. Everybody's in South Carolina, and you know, I don't have a lot of friends. It was just me and my daughter, so I really didn't have anywhere to turn.
Right.
I really didn't have anywhere to turn. I had to deal with it all internally until I became, you know, a part of an association that was a good outlet that helped me to deal with it a lot.
Right.
But of course, you know, things don't last forever.
Right.
So after doing that, this surgery, I was bouncing back from my surgeries and, you know, doing reconstruction, starting to feel good about myself again, because as you can imagine, we lose that feeling when we lose a part of us. That goes away too. And truth be told, it bothered me so much I started seeing a therapist. because I wanted to be able to deal with that and move forward.
Right, so let me just go back a little bit. So you were diagnosed on your birthday, February 13th. So tell me about when you heard those words. Where were you? Did they call you on the phone? Were you in the office? What happened when you found out?
I was in the office when I got the diagnosis, and my friend was with me, and it was just a breakdown, a complete breakdown. I could not leave until the sobbing stopped, and that was probably 30 to 45 minutes.
Now, what stage did they say your cancer was in, and what type of cancer did they diagnose you?
At that particular time, I was at stage 1B, and it was inflammatory.
Okay, inflammatory breast cancer, stage 1B.
Mm-hmm.
So what type of treatment did they offer at that time once you were diagnosed?
At the time, that the choices I had was mastectomy and chemo.
Okay.
And depending on the results from the removal of the lymph nodes would determine how much chemo that I would need, and based on what the pathologist report showed, we did a basic treatment of 4 rounds of chemo.
Okay.
Okay.
So you're feeling good, you had your chemo, you had that, and you enjoying life, celebrating life, and then what happened?
Well, in January, I went back in. I was having a lot of pain with my arm. Couldn't move it, my rotator cuff. I was going to all these doctors, and nobody could seem to find the issue.
And this was January 2014?
January 2014. I was scheduled to come back.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I went back, they ran my numbers, you know, did a blood test, ran my numbers. Numbers came back fine.
Mm-hmm.
But the concern was, why am I having this pain? So we did CAT scans of the brain and the T-spine and so on, trying to see if there was maybe some cancer in there that nobody, you know, had picked up on. And everything came back fine.
Mm-hmm.
So, like you said, after that, life went on, and I wasn't scheduled again for another checkup until July.
Mm-hmm.
So.
July 2014 now. So July 2014, you go to the doctor, and they run your numbers again.
Well, I go to the doctor, and you know, the funny thing is, it was like, I forgot about the appointment. I was like, I got an appointment sometime this month.
Yeah.
And the very morning I woke up and called, and she was like, yeah, your appointment is today. So, okay, I go in, and I'm feeling good. You know, I'm exercising, working out, my strength, everything. My hair has grown back, and I'm looking sexy again. I'm getting me back, right? So I go in, I'm nothing but positive. I go in with a perky attitude. I'm almost 100% positive that nothing else is going on, you know. So I go in and I get my checkup, and for some reason the doctor was just delayed this day. And I wanted to leave, and I said, no, I'm going to sit through. I'm going to sit through. And so I did that, got all the blood work and everything out of the way, but she didn't have time to read the results to me that day.
Mm-hmm.
So she says, I'll call you tomorrow with the results. I said, okay, I'll be out shopping, buying me a new dress, because I know my numbers are good. Everything is good. And I was. When she called me on Tuesday, I was at Atlantic Station shopping when I got the call for my celebration dress and shoes. And I got the call while I was standing in line about to pay for my purchases. And she called me and she says to me, the numbers are a little high.
Mm-hmm.
I said, the devil is a liar. And she said, Sherrill, we need you in the office as soon as possible.
Wow.
And I was like, why? She said, that's an indication that the cancer may be back. I said, the devil is a liar.
Right.
And I said, I'll call you back. And I'm standing in the store, and you call immediately after that.
Mm-hmm.
Immediately after that, you called me.
I remember, yes.
And I shared that moment with you, and when I got off the phone with you, tears started rolling down my eyes. And there was an angel, this lady in the front of me, I don't know her name. She heard the conversation, and she did her best to resist getting into it. She felt compelled to say something to me.
Yes.
And she stepped back and asked me, could she give me a hug? And I let her give me a hug. She told me she was a nurse,
mm-hmm.
and she started speaking positively about how this can be taken care of and so on and so forth, and just stay prayed up and so on. And then she said, you need something good to happen for you today. And she paid for my purchases.
Wow.
And then I went and sat outside on the bench, and I just let the tears roll for a while, and my daughter called. And I told her what was going on. It's like, I can't get in traffic right now. I just need to deal with this right now.
Right.
So at that point, I was re-diagnosed with stage 4 breast cancer. It had spread to my liver, the lymph nodes. It's in my chest walls, and it's in my pelvis and in my abdominal area.
Now, I want the audience to know, and they see you now, and you look fabulous.
Well, thank you. On the days that I can look fabulous, I plan to take advantage of that.
Absolutely. Your attitude is, you know, some people may not be sitting here right now with that same type of demeanor, but I know you, and I know that regardless of the circumstance, you still celebrate life.
And you know there's days when I call you crying.
Right.
That I just don't want to get out of the bed.
Right. There's some good days and there's some bad days. But thank God for those angels that are always there surrounding you and having that relationship with God. Now I understand you too are learning a lot. You're in school. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
I go to Ohio Christian University, and I'm so happy to say that I'm on the dean's list.
Yes, congratulations.
I absolutely love this school. I am studying businesses. As you know, I've been managing businesses for the last 27 years. Different types of projects, from South Carolina to from Miami. Now I'm in Georgia managing properties currently unemployed due to the situation. And my school is a Christian school, and I'm so excited about that because all of our electives are biblical courses, and I've learned to study that Bible, how to interpret that Bible. Right now we're doing the New Testament, and this paper we got to do is hard, but it's challenging, and just to really learn what God meant for our lives.
Wow.
If I had learned it a little earlier on in life, I might still have cancer, but I might not be swaying back and forth across that fence with my faith in God.
Right, right.
And that is what's touched right now, is trying to deal with, okay, God, I love you, I gave you my life. How I get an unfair trade of cancer? But when you 100% into the Word,
100%, not straddling the fence, right?
and that's what I'm learning, to get off the straddling of the fence.
Black or white. Wow. Well, just now, if you had something that you want to give to those women right now, if there was something you can say to them who may just got that diagnosis yesterday, who may feel like they're less than a woman just because, what encouragement could you give them today?
First of all, thank God you're still here. That's the first thing we have to learn to be thankful for. Secondly of all, be positive. If your mind is positive, your actions can be positive. And although the negative feeling is going to always come, cry when you want to cry. Do whatever you need to do to deal with the hurt and the pain. If you were lonely like I was during the first time, find somebody who is going through what you're going through and connect. Even if it's just through the internet. If you got so much pride you don't want nobody to know, go through the internet. You can be anonymous and still talk to people and get some help for what you're doing. And on those days when you feel good, put some clothes on. Go out. You know, don't stop living your life. Still try to have some type of a social life and good people in your life that's going to always be there for you, and be genuine. And you're definitely going to find out who your real friends are. That's the one thing you're going to most definitely find out while you're going through this journey.
That's true. Wow. So I understand too that, you know, the little things matter. What little things that, you know, people have done to really make a difference for you in your life?
You call me every single day. And on the day that you do not call me, I know it was a hectic day. But it's the first thing in the morning, you're going to give me a call. I have my classmates that call for me. They come, they check for me on those days when I can't get out of bed. They bring food for me. They put me in the tub. They brush my hair. They do whatever I need done. So the very little things is if somebody calls you and say, I'm praying for you, you know, that means a lot.
Right.
That means a lot.
We are so glad to see you today, my
yes,
sister.
Honey. Yes, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
All right, thank you so much, Miss Sherrill Dallis, for joining me on this segment of Mocha Chocolate Mondays. Audience, I hope you enjoyed the show. Come back next week. We're gonna talk about the fellas. We gotta have a show about the fellas. Yes, we do.
One thing I like to say, women, if you got a real man in your life, kiss him, love him, do whatever you have to do to show your appreciation to that man. If you got a person in your life that's doing you more harm than good, don't. You got to decide which battle is more important to you. Fighting a relationship or fighting for your life.
That's something, right? Wow, that is so deep. So we are getting ready to close out. Thank you so much once again.
Thanks for having me.
You're looking fabulous. Thank you for that. We had to do our bump.
Mocha Chocolate Mondays. Lady Lord. Just a little impromptu, right?
Awesome way to start your day on Mocha Chocolate Mondays. On Mocha Chocolate Mondays.